welcome back to the Sketchup tutorials. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Arc tool and its submenus, as well as the Polygon tool and its submenus. It says rectangle, but because we're going to be talking about the different polygons, I called it the Polygon tool, but it's just choosing whatever's first or last selected. So if I choose this one, you'll notice the icon changes. So the first tool we're going to use is just the basic Arc tool. And all it's asking us to do is to choose a plane. So I'm going to just move over here, a little to the side, and I'm going to choose right here. And when I click, let's say over here, it'll basically allow me to select and designate the amount of arc I want to create. So if I choose it along the red axis, which allows me to have some kind of semblance of orientation, it'll allow me to do a 90-degree. And if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see it says 90. If I progress, you'll see it can increase. I can also, while I'm just moving my mouse, I could type it in. So, for example, if I wanted 100 and let's say 150 degrees, 150, and press enter, I can create an arc that's 150 degrees. I'm going to press Command Z or Control Z just to undo that. And again, just to show everybody, first I click my origin. So click the mouse and let go. Move my mouse over, line it up with the red axis or green axis or wherever. Click again and let go. And then you can move your mouse around all the way if you'd like. And you might be noticing, hey, why does it go from being really smooth to all of a sudden becoming a little bit more resembling a polygon? That's a great question. Basically, when we create a circle, you'll see in a little bit that basically it creates a standard circle that has a side of 24 or sometimes 16. And so what you notice here is this one has 12. And so that's why it looks like a dodecagon or a 12-sided object. We don't have to worry about that too much. And the reason why it's really visible is because the circle's so big. If I made this circle a lot smaller, oops, sorry, I didn't mean circle. If I made this arc a lot smaller, you wouldn't even notice it. Do you notice it? Yes, but it's a little bit harder to notice. But when you make it very large, for example, if we go to the arc tool again, and we select and go very large, right there, it's a lot easier to notice because the sides are a lot more apparent. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. It's not something to worry about. We'll talk about how to get smooth surfaces later. I just wanted to show you how the tool works. The next one's pretty neat. This is a 2-point arc tool, and basically what it allows us to do is choose 2 points and create an arc from it. So if I choose this point and let's say this point, it'll allow me to create an arc from there. And so you can see here, I've created my arc. Another way this is useful is, for example, if I choose this point and this point down here, and I push it out along the red axis just a bit like that, I can then use the push-pull tool P, and I can build it up to this surface, and there, I can just create an addition like that. So that's the 2-point arc tool. It's pretty neat. We'll be using it later, but again, for this video, I'm just showing you how things work. So our next one, 3-point arc tool. So this tool is pretty neat for creating unique arcs. So the first one is going to be the first point of the arc you're creating. The second one is the outer point, and the third one will be a closing point. So you can close it all the way up, but this is meant more for having a opening and closing point for maybe a surface. For the sake of this video, and since I am just being playful, I'm going to choose the line tool, L, which is what we used in the last video. And I'm going to finish off this Pac-Man. There we go. And let's push bullet. Just, oops, not that one. Here. Boop. And then let's, oh, I'm getting too ahead of myself. I was going to create a little circle, but let's get back to that later. The next tool is the pie tool. Now the pie tool is exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to create a slice of pie. So let's say I wanted to have a portion of a circle, and let's say it was 45 degrees I wanted. I can pre-measure it 45, press enter, and it will create that portion for whatever I need. So that's the arc tool and a lot of the sub tools underneath there. The next one is going to be the polygon tool. And so this one gives us a wide array of tools, and then they've also slipped in the text tool into this area. I don't know why, but it's there. So the first tool is the rectangle tool. We're familiar with this. We've used this before. And so all we need to do is we click and drag, and there we go. So we have our rectangle tool. The next one's a little bit more interesting, the rotated rectangle tool. What that allows you to do is to choose a line, and then once you choose the line, you can choose the angle on which you create that rectangle. So I can build it at 45, and you can see that if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, it gives us the width of the rectangle as well as the degrees. So this is pretty neat. This is a little bit more advanced, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, but it's really fun to play with, so feel free to just kind of have fun and build whatever you'd like. So you can see that there. Pretty neat. The next tool is our circle tool. And so this is kind of like what we talked about before. It's a little bit different than what we did with the arc tool. What you'll notice first is when I choose the circle tool, if you look in the bottom right hand corner, it gives us the sides, 24. Now, like I mentioned, if I create a small circle, it's a little bit harder to notice than when I create a circle, let's say that's much larger. So you can see the difference. They're both the same sided circles. They both have 24 sides. It's just that when it's larger, each side is a little bit more visible. So I'm just going to undo that. Control Z on a PC, Command Z on a Mac. And, you know, it's just something to notice. And if I wanted to change it, if I press C, I can type in 64, for example. Press Enter. And now when I click, you'll notice that it's 64 sides. And even if I make it really large, it looks pretty good. And so you can change these things, and it's pretty neat because let's say I wanted to do a demonstration. So, okay, let's build the circle. Let's say the radius is 4,000, just for demonstration purposes. Oops. Or 5,000. Okay. And now let's build another circle, but that has 24 sides. And that also is a radius of 5,000. And when we push pull each of these up, let's say 5,000. And this one, 5,000. Remember, P is push pull, 5,000. You'll notice that they do look different. And I'm going to show you a slightly more advanced feature in SketchUp, and that is the triple selection tool. If you triple click on any surface, all of its various connected surfaces and edges will get highlighted. So you'll notice here what that looks like. It looks pretty neat. You can see there's a lot of different sub faces here. If I do the same thing here, you'll notice that there's a lot fewer, and that's why it looks more like a polygon than this curved surface on this one. So I just wanted to show you the difference between those two. And the next one is the Polygon Tool, which is similar to this, what we did here, and it just reduces the number of sides to 6. So like, for example, let's say I choose here, you can see that this is a hexagon, and if I choose that same tool and then I type in, let's say 8, and press enter, now there's an 8-sided object. We have that. And then finally, the last one is the 3D text tool. And so let's say we wanted to create our name. So let's write Sophia, and then yeah, that looks fine. Pretty big for what we're going to be doing, but let's say we bring it here and we can put it on any surface. Let's give it some contrast. Let's put it up here, and that's it. So you see it up here. We have our 3D text there, and that's pretty much it. So that covers these tools. Feel free again to kind of take your time playing around in SketchUp. Now that we learned the circle tool, let's finish our Pac-Man and let's push pull this and do something new, but this is something we'll cover later. I'm going to push it down to that surface and it'll delete. There we go. All right, don't worry about what I just did. We'll cover it in another video, but I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the arc tools as well as the different polygon tools so that you guys have a decent take on what's available in these first couple of menus. I hope this video was helpful and fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.